over again because the internet stopped, okay? Now, welcome everybody back to another episode of Nick Lenz's Comic Corner Classics/Non-Classics, where I review stuff from Marvel and DC. Marvel, everything up until recently. DC, everything up until New 52. A lot of controversy there. I don't want to delve into it. I'll talk briefly about the series. Today we're going to be doing 3 episodes in a row of the 3 issues I have for Superior Spider-Man Team Up. Now this is issue 3. Let me sum up issue 1. Now pretty much the title itself is a replacement for Avenging Spider-Man. When Avenging Spider-Man started, I actually liked the title because it was the first team-up title in years. This title itself does not feel like a team-up title. It feels like another Superior Spider-Man solo title, which has characters guest starring in it. He doesn't actually really team up with them, except maybe for the first issue, which is basically Ock basically get involved with all the superheroes and some kind of item, a dispute situation, stuff like that. The end of the issue sets up the whole thing to slip around with the Jackal. I have not read issue 2 yet, nor have I read the 2-part its conclusion in Scarlet Spider volume number 20. Story's called Civil Rights. Please don't spoil it for me. And that sums up basically what this thing was. And the whole reason this series existed because of what's going on with Superior Spider-Man. As for the costume he's got in the cover, he first got that new costume in Superior Spider-Man 14, which I read very recently. Fairly good issue where he basically took him and the Spiderlings to Beach Shadowland. That's pretty much the sum of it. In this issue, basically, it starts off with the Mighty Avengers still fighting on the streets of Manhattan, fighting alien invasion, and this is the first one since Secret Invasion. This is not as big as Secret Invasion, but aliens are happening. And of course, the opening issue, a lot of these issues basically have this, but basically mainly Spider-Man comics. It just has opening like newspaper thing up, the Daily Bugle. Now I don't know how they get this. I think Marvel just sticks in there just to give everybody a sort of, in a way, catching up with what's going on in Infinity. Yeah. And of course, mainly this issue, even though Ock's in this issue, yes he is, but mainly it's about this girl, Sylvia, who is a medieval study student, and she's studying in the Cloisters Museum. The alien invasion is going on. Ock's having too much fun. She's reading more into medieval art. And then the Terrigen Mist comes straight into the Cloisters Museum. Now, of course, this happened also in the Pages of Infinity, where the human city of Attilan was destroyed by Thanos' forces and spread the Terrigen Mist all over the island of Manhattan, and everyone's going to cocoons. And that's what happens to her in this page. Yeah, she becomes this new electricity person. That's of course later on. And of course, besides having Spider and Luke Cage in the issue, Monica Rambeau, who is drawn very weirdly. It's not exactly a generic version of drawing a black person, but it's not a stereotypical version, but it's an okay version. I'm wondering where the heck is her mask. That's what I wonder. And of course, here's her in the cocoon, right here on this page. Yeah, and Ock somehow finds out about it. Yeah, because of a spider bots, he got spider bots all over the city. It explains the better in Superior Spider-Man. Everyone's going crazy with all these aliens. She meets up with the girl. He just briefly somehow, he finally does meet her on this following page. He's like, help me, help me. And this is a full page thing of what she looks like. And she's basically in the nude. No explanation why this is. Probably because Terrigen Mist basically stripping her of her clothing. It's just basically stripping her like, she's kind of like a female version of Elektra. But she's nothing like Elektra. Elektra's cocky. And and Ock tries to take her as an apprentice. Well, I don't know if she is exception. I don't really remember. It's been a while since I read this issue. Yeah, she's trying to join the Avengers, maybe a good ally. And he takes the power lines down to get to New York City. Good. Still connecting on it. Okay, she flies to the city. Ock and Luke Cage exchange some dialogue. Now, here's the odd thing. Spidey does not address Luke Cage by his first name. The original Spider-Man always addressed him by his first name. He just called him Cage. As far as I can tell here, Luke Cage doesn't have much of a problem with that. He calls him Chuckles. And then, basically, because everything is going on with electricity, and because she's believing medieval arts, I don't know why. Yeah, and then she's ready to talk to her. And all of a sudden, bam! She destroys Times Square. Continuing in the next issue. Excuse me. Now, my brief overall thoughts of the issue. Well, for a third issue, it's, well, kind of a bad idea to have the third issue of a series tie into an event that's already going on. That's my that's my one minor criticism about it, but it doesn't really delve into Infinity that much. But one thing, Thanos has not appeared in this issue. He's seen at the beginning in that picture, in that newspaper article. But as what's happened to the cover, no, Ock does not fight a bunch of aliens. He does it briefly in the comic. But as for action, I mean, there is dialogue in the book, which is typical. Pretty much, that's how pretty much this issue goes. It's a fair start to a two-part story. I give it that much. I'm going to give it a 3.5 out of 5. Taking some points up mainly because, well, Infinity time, because it's really not necessary for this thing. Spider-Man does not generally get involved with any crossover events. That's just basically how he is. The artwork is decent, but I prefer to see an Elseworld story for Marvel Comics. The writing is fine. I have no problem with the writing. Writing is fine. Ox in character. One thing, Dan Slott does not write this issue. So anybody reading Spirit Spider-Man, who doesn't read Spirit Spider-Man, Dan Slott does not write this. Despite the fact it says Spirit Spider-Man, Dan Slott does not write it. Okay, give me 7 minutes and a half. I'm going to rush this because I don't want my internet to crash on me again. Alright? So, stay tuned for episode 4 of this 3 episode in a row of Superior Spider-Man Team Up. Alright?